Isn't the penny dropping? Isn't the penny dropping? A small picture, 100%.
This is even contrary to Islam.
Guys, it's not. Why do you keep saying that? I'm telling you as a Muslim, what you're saying is not true.
Just because you're a Muslim doesn't mean you know everything about Islam.
No. One thing that I do know is that I can give examples in the creation. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Jump from even
I give evidence in the Quran.
Do this jump from a painter to creative reality.
So, brother, I'm telling you very clearly, it's not
blasphemous. Be careful with this, guys.
No. I'm telling you, please. I'm a Muslim. There is no such thing.
It doesn't mean you know everything about Islam, brother.
It doesn't mean that I know the basics. Yeah, you're talking about authority. Yeah, exactly.
I'm using logical argument.
No, you're not using logic. You're using illogic.
Not even a prophet would say you can use that analogy of a painter, a human being, a mere mortal, to explain the entire creation of the universe.
God says in the Quran, indeed in the creation of the heavens and the earth.
I know enough about Islam to be shocked to know that he'd be shocked to hear that.
There is. Yeah, exactly. There is nothing that says that. There's actually Surah Imran. Allah says, indeed in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and in the alternation of the nights and day, there are signs for those who believe. Meaning, God saying,
for those who believe.
Yes,
not for scientists.
Yes. You do believe. You believe in evolution, which is your God. That's the difference.
Evolution is not my God.
That is your God.
I'm going to take issue with this.
This is. You know why?
Evolution is not my God. The reason being.
Okay. What gave rise to us?
Evolution.
Okay. What gave rise to us?
Evolution is a scientific concept.
No problem.
Used to explain how species came about, how we have a huge diversity of animals, plants, life forms.
Okay, no problem.
Evolution uses explanations like natural selection, sexual selection,
no problem.
A mixture of competition and cooperation,
no problem.
Adapting to the environment.
No problem.
It's a model of explanation, a theory for how we have such a variety of life forms on this planet.
Okay, so how did we come to be?
You can't describe that as a God. That's a scientific concept.
Problem. How did we come to be?
God is a theological concept used to try and explain why is it that there isn't anything at all. It's a different concept, right?
So how did we all come?
I wouldn't mix the two disciplines of theology and science.
How did we come to be?
Evolution is not my God.
Okay.
I don't believe in God.
Okay, 1 second.
I believe in evolution.
Okay.
Evolution is not my God.
I don't believe in God. I believe in evolution.
I do believe in evolution.
You prove my point. I don't believe in Look, I don't believe in God. I believe in evolution. That's exactly my point. What you're saying is we are all of this that's in nature.
There's good evidence to believe in evolution, but there's no evidence I've seen to believe in God.
Evolution doesn't contradict. Evolution doesn't contradict God existing.
You're saying to me a painter can create a painting, and a painter is intelligent.
No, but
therefore there is a creation.
Yes, logically, rationally, go to anybody.
Created behind creation.
Go to anybody.
Therefore God must have created the world.
There's even studies show that.
From a painter, a guy painting a little picture of a bird. You're jumping from that to the creator of the entire universe.
Exactly.
And that's why I say it almost sounds like blasphemy.
It logically follows.
If you're a Muslim,
anything that happens on a micro level, it's very simple.
To equate the skill of a painter, a humble painter, human being.
You're not answering my question.
With the tremendous
you don't answer my question. I even gave the example of a dependent. 1 second. I even gave the example of infinite amount of dependent things. You can't have it. By the way, it's a fallacy to say that you can have an infinite amount of dependent things. You require a necessary being. You haven't answered that.
Why does it require a necessary
being? It has to, because you cannot have.
Making the claim. You have to back up the claim.
No. Can you have
an
infinite amount of dependent things?
We just established.
I'm asking a question.
No, I agree with you on that.
1 second. Okay, if you can't, it requires a necessary, self-sufficient, independent being that gives rise.
Why does it have to be intelligent or have a will?
Because how could it give rise to us dependent things who have conscious and will, and it doesn't have those attributes itself?
It doesn't have to have those attributes.
How does it give rise to us?
The wind blowing the vase on the floor.
No, but who created the wind?
No, it doesn't have to be who. That's a loaded question.
There you go.
That's a loaded question.
Where did the wind come from?
No one created the wind. The wind is a force of nature arising out of climate conditions.
Okay, and how?
It's not who created the wind.
A wind has some force. What gave it that force?
Star, right?
No, how did it give it that force?
Well,
how do you know?
It comes from the interaction of planets.
Answer the question.
One second.
That's one. Yeah. The rotation of the planet has to do with wind.
What caused the rotation of the planet?
Well, that's to do with gravity and the way we move around the sun.
What caused the gravity?
Again, guys, just to be clear, I'm not astrophysicist.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to.
I remember some of my primary school education.
Look.
I remember some of my primary school education.
No, all you need is logic and rationality. I don't want you to be a scientist.
We can agree on that. We need logic and rationality.
Thank you.
I agree with you on that.
So I'm
logic
saying
and rationality.
Atoms. Does atoms have conscious?
They don't have consciousness.
Do they have a will?
A will depends what you mean by will.
Will. Brother,
if they have a motivating force, if that's the will, then yes. But if by will you mean a conscious decision,
yes.
Look, I even struggle with the idea of free will. I'm not sure if I believe in that.
No, you're a hard determinist. You don't believe in that. I'm a compatibilist. I believe in both. What I'm trying to say is
I'm more actually with you on that, to be honest.
Okay, that's good.
It's a complicated mixture.
So you can be a Muslim and believe in qadr and free will.
That's another topic.
That's it. If a atom doesn't have consciousness, how does it give rise to us conscious beings?
If an atom doesn't have consciousness, how does it give rise to
conscious beings like us? It doesn't have the properties of consciousness.
Well, again, I'm not a scientist, but as far as I know, atoms, when they came together to create the elements that we have.
How did they come together?
In the periodic table. Those elements then Well, we talked about electrons, how different atoms, different elements have different numbers of electrons, and depending on how many electrons they have, that draws them together.
Why is it like that? Because it's composed. It's composed.
Gravity. As far as I know, it's to do with gravity.
Okay, but it's composed in that way.
I'm actually going into an area of discussion which I'm not like. I'm not a chemist or a scientist.
Neither am I.
However,
so don't argue.
I know enough to say.
Yeah.
I know enough to say that you're drawing too much.
Okay. We're wrapping 5 minutes. Yeah.
You're drawing too much from too little evidence.
But you didn't answer my question.
Because it's a loaded question. It's a bad
no, it's not. It's not. No. You said to stop humility.
Yeah, someone wants to join it. Maybe we can.
No. You know what? I don't want no one to join in. You know why? With all due respect, I'm so sorry. I want you to answer this question. Does an atom have consciousness? If it doesn't, how does it give rise to beings like us, which we have consciousness? And we know. No. What kind of question is that?
Gravity.
What kind of answer is that? No, one second.
Electrons being drawn together in certain numbers.
Does electrons have consciousness?
No, they don't.
No. They don't. Okay.
Not that there's no evidence that they do. Maybe they do. I'm not a scientist.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Because there's a whole situation with the scientists grappling with a hard problem of consciousness. How do we have consciousness from atoms that we are made out of that doesn't have consciousness?
Look, even psychologists, neuroscientists are trying to grapple with where human consciousness comes from. The thing is what this comes down to for me, if we're going to wrap up now,
yes.
What this comes down to me is the scientific approach accepts that there are huge gaps in our knowledge.
And that's called the science of the gaps.
You can use any derogatory label you want.
I'm not being derogatory.
I call it basic scientific humility and an investigation.
I call it basic science arrogance. We're not gonna. It can't be God. We don't know.
You're using disparaging terms because you don't actually have evidence.
And you know what? I think it's clear. It's very clear.
Scientists are saying,
you have faith. This is faith. Just say I have faith. I have faith that one day we'll find out.
How can you have faith that you don't know someone?
You do. You don't know it, and you're saying we don't know, but one day we'll find out. That's faith.
You're using mythology, imagery, poetry. You're taking it very literally and using it to plug up the gaps that scientists accept with great humility that they don't know.
And
scientists accept they don't know what originally came before the Big Bang.
But do they have faith they'll find out one day?
Scientists accept 100%. We're not sure right now.
But they'll find out one day.
Where the first life forms come from.
But do they say we'll find out one day?
They hope to.
That's faith.
They hope to.
That's faith.
It's hope, not faith. Don't mix. You're just mixing up. You're muddying the waters.
It's faith.
You're muddying the waters. It's just a hope. Look, when I go to work and I have a problem with my job, I have a basic hope that I can solve the problem, but I don't have faith that I can solve the problem.
Yeah, exactly. But
I hope that I can.
Yes.
When I'm just a barista. You ask me what I do. I just make coffee. I'm not a scientist or a theologian.
Still, it's blind hope.
Scientists have the same approach. They say, look, we're not sure where human consciousness first evolved. We don't even know for sure where language comes from. For example,
exactly. There you go.
We're not sure what came before the Big Bang, if there was anything even before the Big Bang.
Yeah, but you've got a lot of stuff that you're not sure of, though.
They're saying that we're not sure what the first life forms were, where they are on the planet.
Yeah. There you go.
We're not, and they accept with great humility. We're going to investigate this. You say it's arrogance. I say it's humility. Let's just leave it at that.
Because why don't they say it has to be a creator?
What they don't do is
why is creator not in the picture?
What they don't do is they don't get books written before the Enlightenment, books that are steeped in mythology, paganism.
I'm not even talking about Islam now. I'm talking about logic and rationality.
Whether it's Islam,
I'm not talking about Islam.
Christianity, Buddhism, they don't take old poetry and imagery and try and use it to plug up the gaps.
I never done that. I use rationality and logic. I never talked about Islam. I talked Quran
shook your hand on this. I know we're both trying to use rationality.
I know, but that's what I did.
I accept that.
But why don't we ever say maybe it's God?
You haven't proven to me, my friend.
I think the viewers can decide.
One thing
I think the viewers can decide.
Should we leave it there then? That's a good way to end it.
Yeah, 100%. The viewers have to decide because
the viewers decide. I like that.
There's questions that you didn't answer, but we'll let the people decide. But yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Man, I actually really enjoyed that. I didn't want to get so confrontational, but I really enjoyed it.
It happens. This is debate, discussion. I don't mean anything bad by it.
We're passionate about this stuff.
This is a passionate topic.
Thank you, man. Come here. I want a hug.
Thank you. This is Bill.
Have a nice day. Yeah, have a nice evening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.